This is Countdown to Economic Collapse, May 22nd, 2011. I'm David John Sponheim for America's Third Party. I'm running for president in 2012. Well, this past week, Obama has completely changed direction. The American people are wondering what's going on. We were supporting Israel up until this day. Now Obama's decided to put us in another direction and turn his back on people like Netanyahu and others around the Middle East are wondering what's going on. There's no consistent policy here. Now, what is happening is Obama has said that we have to go back to 1967 borders for Israel. And now, I'm not a big supporter of human rights abuses, that's for sure. And I think that Israel is making big mistakes overbearing their position in the Palestinian state of the Gaza Strip. But what we have to do is find a better path that doesn't just rescind all of the progress that has been made over the past 20 years, and then we have to start again. Now, the economy is dependent upon world relations, and what Obama is doing is systematically breaking down the good relations we have with various Middle East countries. Even if they weren't our strong allies, they are soon to become our enemies. And now we have Libya on the list of one of the many wars that we're now involved in. Iraq, Afghanistan, now Libya. And we're seeing a waste of our resources, a huge waste. The Iraq war has cost us over $1 trillion, combined almost $2 trillion for both wars. And we are seeing our dollars, our tax dollars, being squandered by a government that seems to be aimless, with no strategy, no exit strategy, no future, no tactics that will actually win the peace in the Middle East. Since 2008, 42 banks have closed in America. 252 banks are teetering on the edge of closure, a total loss of $368 billion. The real story behind the banks is relatively untold. The fact is, the FDIC doesn't explain what they're doing. They're very clandestine about what they're doing with bank closures. They don't tell a bank that they're closing because they fear people will take their money out of the banks. I want you to know that right now our banks are strong. We have confidence, and I have confidence that our banks will continue to be strong for a period of time up until a major energy crisis. Now, this is a temporary situation which ultimately could be remedied by long-term solutions like energy independence. But typically, the financial sector is dependent on the mortgage foreclosure markets, the mortgage-backed securities, the volatility of the derivatives markets, and of course commodities and their price hikes will always influence the stock market. The stock market isn't really a true indicator of the economic situation in America. The stock market is actually an indicator right now of how strong monetarism has been in this country and how it's increased the amount of revenue for big banks, how many large corporations are profiting and making up their losses in 2008. But they haven't gotten to hiring again. And because the job market is so fallow and sick, we are still seeing systemic problems percolate within our economy. I recommend that we start a jobs program in America to build houses, to put solar rooftops on every single house in America, leasing your rooftop and providing jobs for people to install them and maintain them. And of course, we need to get back to an agricultural growth process in exports. Obama has lost agricultural production 2% every year since he's become president. That's a serious loss in a country that is known for its agricultural exports, so we can truly grow in that department. But we also have to look at the long-term picture for our own rare earth metals, which we have to start mining and producing here in America. As I've said before in other shows, China is cutting back their exports of rare earth metals, which are required in the production of high technology. And that's something that we all rely on for communications. Growth industries are medical technologies. The growth industries are also in pharmaceuticals, generic pharmaceuticals. We also see indications that our country could do very well with renewable energy products like windmills, solar panels. So all of these areas we can continue to grow in, but our country isn't doing that under Obama. I recommend an immediate change in direction. I recommend a third party. I recommend that you talk to your family and tell them to split the vote. It's time. We need new leadership, honest, true, non-corrupt leadership to get this country back on track. You know, in Russia, Vladimir Putin is running for president again because he's having a disagreement with Dmitry Medvedev. Thankfully, we're not like Russia, and we don't have people coming back recycling as leaders. So, we will be looking at new leadership in America, and I urge you to vote third party.
Check us out at americasthirdparty.com.